Toyota's RAV4 compact SUV soft roader has been around so long that it's easy to forget quite how far it's come. This improved 4th generation model is smarter and better finished, plus much has gone on beneath the bonnet, with a more competitive diesel power and, crucially, the option of a hybrid engine for the first time. It all means that whether you're reacquainting yourself with a RAV4 or trying one for the first time, a rather different experience could well await.
And on the move, well, major changes have been made to the RAV4 engine lineup. Diesel buyers now get one single choice, a BMW engineered 2-litre 141 brake horsepower unit, solely available with manual transmission and two-wheel drive. Even more significantly, there's also now the option of petrol-electric hybrid power, a 195 brake horsepower setup available with either two-wheel drive or, as in this instance, all-wheel drive. In both cases, a 2.5-litre petrol engine is mated with a 141 brake horsepower electric motor at the front, but if you go for the E4 version, then a second 68 brake horsepower motor is also added to additionally power the rear axle too. It's this hybrid variant that Toyota expects at least half of all future RAV4 buyers to choose, despite the fact that the brand hasn't mated this power plant with the more advanced plug-in technology that some rivals use. The Japanese brand declines to copy that approach here, doubting that many potential buyers will want to pay the significant premium that accompanies plug-in progress. They could be right. This is certainly a more affordable way of buying into the impressive returns possible using petrol-electric propulsion. In the case of this four-wheel drive model, you're looking at 55.4 miles per gallon on a combined cycle and 118 grams per kilometre of CO2. Don't expect too much in terms of off-road ability though. Toyota has retained an all-wheel drive only conventionally petrol-engined 2-litre V-Matic model in the range. For customers wanting a bit more of that, this variant comes with 149 brake horsepower and standard auto transmission. A RAV4 must never be big and bulky. Buyers have always looked at one and thought, yes, I could drive that. Yes, I could park that. And yes, that would look rather nice in the driveway. All these observations, of course, apply to this restyled Mark IV model, but this time around there's a sense of individuality that arguably the RAV4 hasn't had since the 90s. As you can see, the most notable changes have taken place up front, where a smarter, slender upper grille is flanked by restyled headlights featuring LED technology on plusher versions like this one. Time to take a seat behind the wheel, where Toyota promises an improvement in quality this time around, restyling the instrument binnacle, the centre console and the gear lever surround, and adding in higher quality materials, all in an effort to try to push this car up market. As before, the driver-centric section is framed by this silver-finished hoop that rises from the transmission tunnel and cuts through the dashboard beams to frame instrumentation that's now delivered by two separate circular dials. The left-hand one will either be a rev counter or, as here, a hybrid system indicator. It all depends on the engine that you've chosen up front. Between these gauges, Toyota has added in a 4.2-inch multi-information display to this improved model. This showing you safety information, trip computer data, a compass and audio settings. Now, anything this screen can't tell you will probably be covered by this, the 7-inch centre dash infotainment monitor. The fascia has here been redesigned to better accommodate. And in the rear, well, if your experience of RAV4 motoring is limited to older Mark I, Mark II or Mark III versions of this car, make sure you take a seat here to experience the differences, because they really are significant. The redesign that created the original version of this Mark IV model in 2012 added an extra 100mm to the wheelbase of this car, and pretty much all of it has been used to benefit backseat occupants who get plenty of knee room and class-leading standards of space. Finally, let's take a look out back. You get 547 litres in a conventionally engined petrol or diesel RAV4, or 501 litres with this hybrid variant. Although opinion may be divided as to whether the RAV4 invented the soft-roading segment, few people doubt that, more than any other, this model defined it. In some ways, it continues to do just that, for this car still sums up a lot of what a vehicle of this kind should be all about. Smart, reasonably spacious, affordable to run, and with just enough SUV-ness about it to get you to the places that you tend to dream about, but you probably never go. Perhaps then this is, as Toyota assures us, a better way of owning a model of this kind. Well, you decide. One thing's for certain, for many this car's buying proposition still makes family-friendly, real-world sense.